Hello, today I'm going to show you how to do the hairstyle that Anna wears for Elsa's coronation in the Disney movie Frozen. Now, first off, what you are going to need, obviously, some kind of hairbrush to detangle your hair. This is a tangle teaser that currently needs replaced. That's beside the point. You're also going to need one of these bendy rollers. This one is blue. If you can find one that matches your hair, that is ideal. I don't know where you would start doing that. You could also use a straight bun form, but these are great mostly because they have wires in them. So if I pull it like this, it's going to stay like this. So the shape will stay. It is possible to do them without one of these. I believe many of the other tutorials on this hairstyle do not involve a bendy roller bun form. You will also need some little hairbands. I'm using little clear elastics, and I believe I will be using 5 of them, but I've also got proper hairbands because I don't like using the little ones to secure my ponytail. And usually I would use 2 if I was just going to wear a ponytail, but I've used 1 because we will need to pull the ponytail slightly out and manipulate the hair underneath later on. And you'll also need, as with most styles, little slidey grips. I'm using slidey grips instead of split pin things. So I am using these instead of these because for this style I believe they work better. If you have incredibly thick hair, they may not work as well for you, and you can use your preferred pin, whichever you want to use. Now, so I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to show you where I take the hair from for these little plaits. I'm using 2 again, and the ends are just held with a little clear elastic. Now the other thing to remember is that you need to start plaiting upwards unless your hair is very long and you can wrap it all the way around like that. My hair is not long enough for that, so I'm going to start plaiting upwards. Okay, I'll turn around so you can see. Now, you only need to plait upwards for a little way. Your arms are going to hurt a lot, especially if you have long hair, if you keep plaiting upwards. Once you've got the hair going in the direction you want it, just don't pull it down because you will pull it all out of alignment, but you can plait down. Now if I have video editing skills, I could fast forward this bit, but I don't, so I'm going to plait as fast as I possibly can, which with these little tiny plaits is somewhat difficult. Big plaits, really easy. Little tiny ones take a really long time to do. But the hairstyle in itself isn't all that long. Obviously I'm going to be going a little bit slower because I'm going to be showing you what to do at every stage, and I'm incapable of not talking. How much of a tail you want depends on you and the length of your hair. If you have very long hair, you can leave a longer tail and still have enough to make sure the plait end is hidden. If you have shorter hair, you need to go as close to the end as you possibly can. My hair is all one length, but even if you have layers, taking a section of hair like this, you shouldn't really have that many layers in your hair. And I know you can't see the end of it, it's just here. And I'm just going to secure it with a little clear elastic, and I do love these because they are so much not going to fall off. I do have little blonde elastics, but they're no catch things, and the trouble with no catch hairbands, when you put them on the end of your plaits or braids, I'm sorry, I'm mixing my British and American terminology there, is that they fall off quite regularly. They're also a lot bulkier than these little things. But it's up to you and what you have. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is secure these braids, and I'm going to secure them one at a time because I have tried doing them two at a time and they kept falling off. Just going to make sure it's even, which is reasonably difficult since I am using this for a mirror. Okay, this one's going to go behind this plait so it'll be better hidden. I do apologise if you heard that, I do have housemates. And now I'm going to do the other one. And I'm just bringing it in front. You can cross them over if you want, or you can, as me, just leave them one in front of the other. What I'm going to do is secure them in the middle, because otherwise they move around. I don't like that. Now, wiggle your bobby pin, and it will be both more secure and less visible. So you want to go under, and as if you were sewing with it, really. Right, and I'm going to secure the bottom end of this one as well, because otherwise it's going to slip. And I can actually put this one through both again. Crossed over bobby pins work very well for this, but you don't really need to do that. Okay, now I'm just pinning this one, and again I'm going to go through both plaits with one bobby pin. You could take the initial bobby pin out of the other side if you wanted before you put the second one in. And don't worry about the ends, they're going to be covered. Just wherever you want a little bit more security, just put an extra pin. The only thing to be really careful of here is that these bits of hair stay underneath what you are pinning, because otherwise they will be completely useless for what we're going to use them for later. Now, there is two orders you can do this in. You can either sort out this bit first and then do this bit, or you can do these bits and measure them and then sort out this bit. I am going to do these bits first. I'm going to explain what I'm going to do because I'm going to turn around and show you, and I do not want to have to talk, and well, I can't because I'm going to have to hold this bit in my mouth to get it out of the way. I'm going to pull them up and I'm going to put a little clear elastic in them, in this bottom bit of hair, and I'm going to pull it up so that it just about goes over the ponytail, because what we're going to do is when we've done the little loopy thing is tuck it underneath, as if you were doing a Gibson tuck. But I'm going to put a little clear elastic so that I get the right distance, and then I'm going to plait the rest, because that seriously helps it to get out of the way. Loose hair is much more difficult to deal with. Okay? Now you will notice that I actually split the hair into two there. That's because I'm going to do two plaits, because when you have the hair split in two different directions, it will hold the centre point much firmer than if you only have. Now, when that's done, just let, I've got a little bit of my ponytail stuck in. If you do get little bits of hair, just very carefully pull them, because they need to not be in that section. And if they really won't come out, ignore them and leave them down. But you need to pull them very carefully. You don't want to snap bits of hair, really. Now, I'm just going to tighten this ponytail up a little. what you want to do now, what I'm going to do is section the ponytail across lengthways, like so. I prefer to do this lengthways than other ways. I don't know why, personal preference. And then I'm going to wrap one strand all the way around going this way, and the other one all the way around going this way. If you have a form that is the same colour as your hair, this is less important. But it also stops some of the little fanning across that you can get when wrapping these things, as I have discovered. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to show you that. Now, I've gone one way. I'm going to pin it before I go the other way. I'm going to pin it on both sides because otherwise it's going to move and that's going to drive me crazy. Bear in mind that you cannot put pins through foam bendy rollers. Next section of hair, same thing, other direction. I seem to have misplaced a bit. Like me, you have random bits. Just wrap them around the base. And if you have much longer hair, you may need to wrap the excess around the base and just pin. Now this is where if you have thick hair, you will need to use these pins instead of the grips. Now I don't have thick hair, but I do have rather a lot of it. What I'm also going to do is just pin the base to the rest of my hair, and I'll show you. This is where the weight distribution comes in, because you're fixing it up here, so it's not all down here. Actually, I am going to put a couple of these pins in, because otherwise it's not going to hold. Now you don't want to put in too many pins right now, because the next bit will be a lot more difficult. Just make that as neat as you can, and I can't see it, so I can't tell if it's neat. I'm sure you'll all tell me. And then we're going to do this bit. And this bit is going to go over and through, so I will just show you that. And pin. Now, you'll notice I have two little braids. Now, you could just leave them there if you really wanted to. I braided them because they are much easier to deal with that way. You could, of course, not do any of this bit. You could just leave this bit loose and then wind it around your fingers, tuck it under and pin it. But it's less secure. So I will just now show you what I'm going to do with these braids. There are two choices. You can either tuck them under into the little pouch you've created, like a Gisborne tap, or you can wind them around the inside and hide them underneath the form. Okay? just going to check that in my mirror. There we go. Now if you don't have blue ends, you won't have the little blue spot that I've got, which I have come to, well actually I quite like the blue. You can always stick a couple of flowers in it to decorate it if you want, either at the side here or in the middle. Or just as I did, covering up the blue. And that is Anna's coronation hairstyle. I do believe she has a little bit more volume up here than I do, but I don't like putting volume up there. And this has been a very long video, and if you have stuck with me to the end, I thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you regarding this style and anything you would wish to see in the future. If you wish to find me on the LHC, I go by Fire From Within, and that is the long hair community and not the Large Hadron Collider, because I don't have a physics degree. Okay, bye bye and happy styling!